What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to the workshop. I hope you're all doing well. Now, I'm back doing some Japanese joinery, so I said I would share it with you guys. Massive fan of Japanese joinery, and I'm practicing it. It is very intricate, quite difficult, but it's a great way of developing some skills. So my last time I did the cane sugi joint, which was a pinned miter joint, and you guys really seemed to like that video. So I'm going to do a video similar to the last one where it's just me working on the joint, no talking, but this time I'll do a little bit of talking at the end of the video, just explain what I found difficult and how I put the joint together. Now this one is called the Hako-Dome. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. It is an interlocking tenon or a rebated tenon miter joint, and it's a really strong miter joint indeed. Now there's a lot more interlocking faces in this one, and I actually found this one a lot more difficult than the last one I did, and it actually took me 2 attempts, which you'll see in the video. The first attempt you will watch me make and you'll see the result. It's a little bit loose, but the second attempt is a locking together good. It's still not perfect. I still have some little hairline gaps here and there. Not 100% perfect yet, but I'm pretty happy with where I am at the minute. So I've been reading a nice book, The Art of Japanese Joinery by, hopefully I get this pronunciation right as well, forgive me if I mispronounce this, Kiyoshi Seki, I believe that is, and that joint is in this book. It's a lovely book all about the history of Japanese joinery, and there's some lovely illustrations of the joint, and that one piqued my interest, which was, like I said, the Hako-Dome joint. So that's what I attempt to do in this video. So hopefully you've enjoyed it, guys, and yeah, just enjoy me working on some Japanese joinery. Okay guys, so there we go, that is the joint complete, and hopefully you've enjoyed that video. And like I said, this is the Hako-Dome, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, which is the rebated tenon miter joint, and it's a really strong joint, lots of interlocking faces. If you were to add glue to this, it would be an extremely strong way of making a miter joint. And like I said, I found that a little bit more difficult even than the Kintsugi joint. Even though this one looks a little bit more intricate, that one was actually more difficult, I found. Now, a couple of tips, marking it out. Use a marking knife. You can be accurate with a pencil, but to be extremely accurate, use a marking knife, especially with all these faces that have to sit together perfectly. Believe me, you're going to want to get yourself a marking knife. I'm using this new square. This is by Showa. Showa are a Japanese tool company, and these tools are fantastic and are really cheap as well. What's even better, I got this particular one from Workshop Heaven, so if you want to check it out, check out Workshop Heaven. They do all the Showa stuff. Not sponsored, not being paid to say that, just said I'd tell you what I'm using to do these joints. It's a fantastic square. I think it was about £13, something like that. That's about 16 euros for a square like that. Is pretty good indeed. Using my Japanese chisels. Now, one question I got asked in the last video was why I use my Western hand saws rather than my Japanese hand saws. Well, the simple answer is I'm just a lot more accurate with them. I can be a lot more accurate with my Veritas saws than I am with my Japanese saws. So that's why I'm using the Western saws to do Japanese joinery. It's just a personal thing with me. I'm a little bit more accurate, like I said, with my Western saws. That's the reason. Now, another tip, get yourself a square block, a block that you know to be exactly square, that you can run your chisels down and pair the faces. So when you're cutting out all these joints, cut inside the lines and work back to your lines with your chisels. If you're not confident with your sawing, then give yourself a good space. Come away from that line a couple of mil and cut it, and then work back to it with your chisel, and you will read a really square block in order to do that. So make sure it has 2 square faces minimum, so that you can sit it on your piece, and you know this face here is perfectly perpendicular, and you can pare down, use that as a guide for your chisel. That's how I did it, and that's what I recommend you guys do. An actual engineer's block would be fantastic for doing this, because you know those ones are perfectly square, and they take a bit of abuse too. Something I might get myself. So that's kind of it, guys. Another Japanese joint done. I'm going to do some more intricate ones in upcoming videos. If you guys want to see that, let me know. Get in the comments below and let me know what you think about this particular joint. And as always, thanks to everybody over on Patreon who continue to support the channel. It is very much appreciated, guys. I'm going to get out of here now. It's time for a whiskey, I think. I shall see you next one, guys. Take it easy.